as I'm sure you've all heard the news by now, that the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics put together a blockbuster trade that would send Kyrie to the Celtics, and then the Cavaliers would receive Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, Ante Zizic, a 2020 second-round pick, and the 2018 Nets first-round pick. This trade is now official, with the Celtics throwing in one more second-round pick than initially expected, but that doesn't really affect much. Even more news recently came out as Isaiah Thomas could be out until the All-Star break, as many reports are saying. This would lead to Derrick Rose having the starting point guard role until Isaiah Thomas is ready to return to Cleveland, which opens up many flaws for the roster, even more than last year. This trade was pretty fair for both teams, which led to a debate online for all NBA fans over which team actually won the trade. Unlike some other massive trades of the summer, like Paul George to Oklahoma City and Jimmy Butler to the Timberwolves, one team didn't really lose and one team didn't really win. The Cavs needed to trade Kyrie, as his relationship with LeBron would have caused tons of locker room drama next season if he was still on the roster. And the Celtics saw a perfect opportunity to get something in return for an injured Isaiah Thomas who would want a max contract next summer. And the Celtics and probably any other smart organization would not want to pay a 5'9" point guard the max contract. But now let's analyze Cleveland's part of the trade. I think Cleveland only did this trade because they would receive what will probably be the first-round pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, as it's pretty clear that LeBron is leaving next summer and Isaiah Thomas only a one-year rental, so they did need to complete this trade so they could set them up for the future. They did also receive a solid wing player in Jay Crowder. He can defend and hit threes, which would benefit the Cleveland Cavaliers, as LeBron James could maybe rush a little bit on the defensive end. And while still on the offensive end, Jay Crowder's hitting a lot of threes. I mean, overall, the Cavs got worse this season, but better in the long term. This trade won't make them good enough to defeat the Warriors, and without Kyrie, they will probably get swept. But we'll have to wait and see what happens, as no one knows for sure. Moving on to the Celtics part, like a lot of people are saying, they did give up a lot for Kyrie, and really, it isn't going to benefit them as much as you may think. The Celtics were really good last year, but that was because they had amazing role players on the team like Kelly Olynyk, Avery Bradley, Jay Crowder, Amir Johnson, and a bunch of other guys. Well, what originally made them good last season are not even on the roster anymore. The Celtics' only win against the Cavaliers was because of Avery Bradley, and he's gone. Kelly Olynyk saved the Celtics in Game 7 against the Wizards, and he's gone. So I bet you see where I'm going with this. I just don't think the Celtics will be any better than they were last year. I mean, they will still be a top 3 team in the East, but there's no chance of them being Cleveland, and I don't see them being Raptors either. Even a anonymous NBA executive said that Kyrie is one-dimensional and can't be a franchise player. He may be right, but Kyrie is a great scorer and all-around, just a guy you want to have on your team. But in this trade, Isaiah Thomas also went to Cleveland, who is even more one-dimensional than Kyrie is. He's too small to defend anyone and can only score. His assists per game are very low and just honestly on the same level of Kyrie. So we'll have to see how this all sorts itself out. I mean, but if I'm being honest, this trade is a little overhyped, as Cleveland will get the same or worse result as last year, and the Celtics lost everything that made them good in the first place, so we'll have to see how their new roster shapes out. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you're an NBA fan, why not subscribe to my channel, as I post great content weekly, and I'll see you guys next time.